Since everything is pre-written at one timeless instant, isn't it true that it's already been experienced in that same timeless now? Then is it true it all happens at once, but still at the same time goes on for infinity? It seems creation then cannot be understood, but only be experienced.
Looks like a complex question. Since everything is written at one timeless instant, is it true that it's all already been experienced in that same timeless now? Then is it true it all happens at once, but still at the same time goes on for infinity? It seems creation then cannot be understood but only by experience. Now I'm going to point out a few inconsistencies in this question. The questioner assumes, and correctly, that everything has happened in a timeless instant. Okay? I agree with that. Everything that we see created is a timeless instant, and we have, through our mind, through the development of things called memories, created past, present, and future, and therefore we have created the notion of time in which events have been separated. Otherwise, all one instant. Now, when we say, if everything is pre-written, if there's no time, how can it be pre-written? Pre means time, means it was written earlier. So there's inconsistency. If there's only one instant, what is pre? So this means that when we ask a question with the mind, we cannot get rid of time, no matter how cleverly we try to express our question. There is no way the mind can transcend this notion that time is a permanent thing, that we are so trapped in time that any time we want to talk about timeless things, about timeless instances, we still bring out, was the timeless moment, how long ago was the timeless instant took place, as if that was also in time. So there's an inconsistency. Is pre-written at one timeless instant, is it true that it's all already been experienced? Already been experienced means there was time. It's in the past. And in a timeless instant, there can be no past. So it cannot already be experienced. It must be experienced in the timeless now. But we create experience of there being a past. So if you're talking of true knowledge, the true knowledge is timeless, in one instant with no time, and there is no past, and it cannot have been experienced earlier or later. Then when is our destiny written, which we are living now and thinking it's in the time frame? It is written in the timeless now. Is written now. There was no past. You could not have written earlier. When we say predetermined, this fate was predetermined, pre-written. We are talking of something from within the cage. We are inside the cage and looking at the walls and saying, I know if I paint this, I'll be free. We are looking at a cage of time in which we are trapped. And we are thinking we can talk of something that's freedom outside the cage by looking at the cage within itself, because we can't see anything outside the cage. Time is like that. Time has trapped us, to, even when we talk of timelessness or instant time, it is really within time that we can think. And that is why we say that all things have been happening at once. When did it happen? That contradicts what we were saying earlier. Still, at the same time, goes on for infinity. What is same time? If there's no time, how can there be same time? So, it seems creation then cannot be understood but only by experience. Do you know there can be no experience except in time? How can you experience creation and know what reality is by experience? Experience, all experience, no matter what, takes place in time. Therefore, a lot of contradictions when we try to use our mind and try to intellectually absorb this knowledge and information. The timeless instant can be experienced. That means can be realized. These are both wrong words. When I say can be realized, I'm talking of a future. Can be experienced, I'm again talking of future after denying that experience can be done except with time. There is no language available to us, no concepts available to us to explain or express what the truth and the reality is. I can't even say you can experience it. I can't even say you can realize it. Maybe, to some extent, also not accurately, I can say you can become it. Maybe you can know true knowledge of who you are, true knowledge of your reality, but it is not something that you can call experience. It is timeless. So I agree with the questioner entirely. That's the truth. It's timeless. But there is no way we can put a question by placing outside of time. Because all questions we ask, no matter what, are all arising from the mind. All answers we give, no matter how good, they are all from the mind. They do not express reality. They do not express ultimate truth. So ultimate truth rises above the mind which creates all this. Mind creates questions and answers. And by the way, it creates answers before it creates questions. Now again, getting into time. When you ask a question to know something, you ask a question and you get the answer, you know that is correct. I always see people, when they ask a question and an answer is given to them which appeals to them, they say, that is correct. They're very happy to get a right answer. If they can say that is correct, that means they had the answer with them before they even asked the question. You cannot formulate a question unless the answer to that is already inside you, but not verbalized, not expressed the way you want to hear. When somebody gives that answer which is already in you, you get confirmation. Yeah, that's what it was. Supposing you ask a question to me and I give an absurd answer, you will not accept it because that is not the answer you already have in your mind. The answer precedes the question. The answer is there that enables you to make a question. That is why I keep on saying all the answers to all the questions are already inside you. Just explore inside. During meditation, during the process of withdrawing our attention inside, some strange experiences happen. And some of them are like instant knowing of certain things, which were part of your questions earlier. They don't answer in words. They don't say, you ask this question, does the sun rise from the east? And the answer is yes, it does rise from the east. You say the question was, where does the sun rise from? And you see the sun rising from the east. So it's a knowing, it's actually a knowledge that comes instantly, which is an answer to your question, because that knowledge was already there. But the formulating of a question in words takes place later. So this is a very interesting state we are in, where we are bound down, trapped by things which we cannot see. We can't even see this trap. The trap of time is the biggest, more subtle trap that you could ever devise. We are caught in time. That is why time in our Indian language has been called Kal. Kal is a literal translation of the word time. And when we talk to a Westerner, they don't think Kal is a time, they think Kal is a negative power, the devil. That maybe he's a negative power devil. The biggest devil is time. We are trapped in time, we are trapped in before and after. We are trapped in karma, which is dependent on before and after. This is a big trap. When we ascend above the mind, there is no time. And that is when we get true knowledge about ourselves and about our true home. Perfect living masters take us to that state of being, where we know.